have safely crossed into Nepal by land, and efforts are underway to have them evacuated. We shall be sharing with you details about them as and when we have more information about their particulars, etc. We are in a dynamic situation, so figures keep going up and down. Also, we have to reconcile several lists that we are dealing with. There are also around 100 persons of Indian origin who remain uncontactable. So these are people of Indian origin who may have gone for Kailash Mansarovar Yatra, but they hold other nationalities. Our MEA control room here is working around the clock, as is the case with the control rooms in our embassy in Kathmandu, as also our embassy in Beijing. On the Chinese side, we have 400 Indian nationals. They are safe. They have been in touch with their family because phones, etc., I'm told, is working on that side. Our embassy has been in touch with several of them, in fact, with their team leaders and their travel agent. Many of their family members also contacted us through the helpline numbers that our embassy is running right now in Beijing. This is on China. This is on China's side. So, and then our embassy, sorry, around 400. So, as you know, this is, as I said earlier, that it's a dynamic situation. So we will give you an updated figure later. But at this point in time, we are talking about around 400 people. Our embassy is in touch with local authorities in China, and they are working out as to how these people who are there, they can be evacuated. But just to tell you that all these 400 people or plus people are safe. Let me update you on the relief efforts. As you know that we had, as this tragedy unfolded, the same day we mobilized our humanitarian assistance efforts, and we had one aircraft. The first aircraft departed on 26th August in the evening time. It carried 10 tons of relief material, which included temporary shelters, blankets, hygiene kits, solar lamps, and medicines. Thereafter, there was a second departure which happened yesterday, 27th August, at around 10:30 a.m. in the morning. This particular flight carried 37.5 tons of relief material, which included tents, blankets, hygiene kits, solar lamps, dewatering pumps, kitchen sets, gen sets, medicines, and food items. And then we are considering the third flight to be leaving this evening, expected to be leaving this evening. We shall keep you updated of all the material that is going on this particular flight, as also other support systems that will go with that. This, again, the items that this particular flight will be carrying will have portable gensets, dignity kits, food, water purification tablets, medicines, things that have been made available or requested by the Nepali side to us. So we shall keep you updated. The total load of this particular flight would be something around 12, 13 tons. Overall, keeping in mind that this flight also takes off, we would have sent 60 tons of relief material to Nepal by way of our humanitarian assistance. But please do watch out for our post. We'll keep you updated on the third relief flight. So that is what I had to say on the situation as far as Indian nationals are concerned in Nepal, and also our relief efforts. I will take further questions on this particular matter and other things that you would have for me to answer. ठीक है. मैं एक बार हिंदी में मैं इसको आपके सामने रखना चाहता हूँ. देखिए, 21 भारतीय नागरिक जो फंसे हुए थे, कैलाश मानसरोवर की यात्रा पे गए थे, वो 21 नागरिक, भारतीय नागरिक कल काठमांडू पहुंचे, उस क्षेत्र से जहां पर ये हादसा हुआ। और कल हमारे राजदूत उनसे मिले, उनका हालचाल पूछा कल शाम को, और आज उनको सबको उसके लिए व्यवस्था करके उनको हवाई जहाज में बैठाया गया। हमारी एम्बेसी ने उनके लिए ये ट्रैवल अरेंजमेंट बनाया और आज वो दिल्ली पहुंच चुके हैं, इंडिगो की जहाज से पहुंचे हैं, कुछ देर पहले पहुंचे हैं। उसके अलावा आप लोग को हमने पहले जानकारी दी थी कि 63 भारतीय नागरिक जो त्रिशूली हाइड्रो पावर में काम करते हैं, त्रिशूली 1, उनको भी वहां से बचाया गया है। इनके बारे में भी आपको विधिवत नहीं, नाम के साथ हम लोग ने बताया कि कौन कौन से ये 63 लोग हैं। उसके अलावा आज की खबर ये है कि 96 भारतीय नागरिक चीन से नेपाल की तरफ आ चुके हैं और ये सभी लोग सुरक्षित हैं। इनके बारे में ज्यों हमारे पास सूचना मिलेगी आपसे हम साझा करेंगे। इसके अलावा मैं ये कहना चाहूँगा कि हमारे पास जो लापता लोगों का जो लिस्ट है वो अभी 320 का है, लेकिन ये मान के चलिए चूंकि स्थिति हर घड़ी बदल रही है, इसमें कुछ ऊपर नीचे भी हो सकता है। इसके अलावा 100 ऐसे लोग हैं करीबन जो भारतीय मूल के लोग हैं, उनसे भी हमारा संपर्क नहीं हो पा रहा है। ये भारतीय मूल के लोग, अलग अलग नागरिकता इनके पास है, विदेशी नागरिकता। इधर विदेश मंत्रालय में कंट्रोल रूम 24 घंटे चल रहा है, वहीं काठमांडू में हमारे दूतावास में और बीजिंग में हमारे दूतावास में, वहां भी लगातार 24 घंटे कंट्रोल रूम चल रहा है। मैं आपको ये भी बताऊं कि चीनी तरफ तिब्बत ऑटोनमस रीजन जो है, उस तरफ 400 के लगभग में भारतीय नागरिक वहां पर जिससे हम संपर्क कर पाए हैं और ये सभी लोग सुरक्षित हैं। इनकी अपने परिवारजनों से बात हुई है क्योंकि वहां पर टेलीफोन की सुविधा उपलब्ध है और इनसे हमारे एम्बेसी या तो इनसे खुद ही इनसे बात कर रहा है या इनके ट्रैवल एजेंट और इनके जो ग्रुप के लीडर हैं उनसे बात कर रहा है। कई एक मामलों में इनके परिवार वालों ने हमारे एम्बेसी को भी कांटेक्ट किया है, वहां पर संपर्क किया है बीजिंग में, और अभी हमारी एम्बेसी इन 400 जो लोग हैं उनके लिए व्यवस्था कर रही है किस प्रकार से वहां से सुरक्षित निकाला जाए। आपको ये बताऊं कि चीनी तरफ भी बहुत सारे वहाँ भी भूस्खलन वगैरह हुआ है जिसके कारण सड़कें उड़के अभी ठीक नहीं है। तो जो कनेक्टिविटी का जरिया खुलता रहेगा, ये लोग जो हैं वहाँ 400 के लगभग में लोग जो मैंने बताया वो भारत वापस आ सकते हैं। जहाँ तक मानवीय सहायता की बात है, जैसा कि आप जानते हैं कि 26 तारीख को हमने पहला जहाज भेजा जिसमें कि 10 टन सामग्री, मानवीय सहायता सामग्री था। इसके अंदर कंबल, खाने पीने की चीज़, दवाइयाँ, उसके अलावे सोलर लैंप और अन्य चीज़ें भी थी। उसके अलावा कल 27 तारीख को हमने दूसरा जहाज भेजा था जिसमें 37.5 टन मानवीय सहायता हम लोगों ने नेपाल को प्रदान किया था और ये वो चीज़ें हैं जो वहाँ की सरकार ने हमसे अनुरोध किया। और तीसरा जहाज भी आज जाने क्रम में है जिसके बारे में आपको हम अवगत कराएंगे जब वो ये कार्य पूरा हो जाएगा। और ऐसा मानना जा रहा है कि इस जहाज में करीबन 12 से 13 टन मानवीय सहायता इसके जरिए भेजा जा रहा है नेपाल। साथ ही साथ मैं ये कहना चाहूँगा कि हम लोग जो भी हमसे हो सकता है वो हम कर रहे हैं हमारे भारतीय नागरिक को सुरक्षित करने के लिए, और वहाँ पर जो भी हो सकता है नेपाल को भी हम लोग जो सहायता प्रदान कर सकते हैं उनके अनुरोध के हिसाब से वो भी हम कर रहे हैं। तो ये था नेपाल के ऊपर। बाकी अब सवाल, साहिल।
So good afternoon, I'm Sahil Pandey from MEA News Agency. So we are seeing considerable assistance being rendered to Nepal. However, large number of Indians are still missing or feared dead. What is government of India doing about their situation, sir? If you can brief us on that. Thank you.
So there are reports that the Nepalese government has actually refused the offers of assistance from many countries. What is the position vis-a-vis India? Do we have a free hand in sort of rendering the relief efforts? And secondly, I just wanted to check this. Would you have, you have mentioned the number of people who are non-contactable or missing, but what is there any sort of evidence of a death toll of the Indians? Have any bodies been recovered or anything like that? Thanks.
Keshav?
Thank you, spokesperson. Keshav Padmanabhan from the print. Yesterday, the Sri Lankan government announced, I think, $1 million in aid to Nepal. So I just wanted to check whether the Indian government is considering any such figure, or has any such figure been requested by Nepal so far? And the second question says on the special representative stock, you've had the 8-point consensus, and you find the mention of this early harvest deal again, which comes from last year, but there seems to be momentum on that. The 2005 agreement called for a packaged deal across the entire border, whereas now you're talking about an early harvest deal. So, what really is the situation? If you can give us some understanding on that, I'd be grateful.
Uma?
So I have two questions. Would India also be considering sending field hospitals to Nepal? And my second question is, do you have the number of the Indians who have been deported from the US and UK? And there have been reports that Saudi Arabia has made some changes in its employment policy and they are sending back Indians from there. So if you can give some details.
Sachin?
सर मैं सचिन बुधोलिया हिंदुस्तान समाचार से। सर काठमांडू से कुछ ऐसी रिपोर्ट्स आई हैं कि भारत ने एनडीआरएफ की टीम को वहां पर रेस्क्यू ऑपरेशन में सहायता के लिए भेजने का ऑफर किया था, लेकिन वहां से चीन सरकार की तरफ से कोई दबाव था जिसके कारण से नेपाल सरकार ने मना कर दिया। ये वहां की ऑफिशियल रिपोर्ट आ रही।
So, coming first to Sahil, your question, and that will partly answer, Sridhar, what you asked, Sachin, aapne jo bola. You are aware of the humanitarian assistance that India has rendered to Nepal so far. 2 aircraft, as I told you, with relief materials, they have already been sent. And third, we are expecting a third aircraft also to carry humanitarian assistance from our side to Nepal. As requested by Nepal, we are preparing to send a tunnel rescue team, for which a recce team is being flown in first to assess on-ground situation as to what sort of equipment will be required. We are also sending a medical team to Nepal. In addition, we have also offered Bailey bridges along with associated technical teams so that connectivity can be restored quickly in the affected parts of Nepal, and we can provide, we can help in rescue and relief efforts. Let me tell you that one Bailey bridge is already in Nepal and can be deployed for relief efforts and for connectivity efforts. Insofar as missing or stranded Indians are concerned, Government of India is arranging for the return home of those who have been rescued thus far, and I told you about the 21 who've returned to Delhi. Arrangements for them, travel arrangements were made by the embassy. In addition to this, we have also made specific offer to Nepal authorities to dispatch NDRF teams along with their associated equipment that can help in ongoing search and rescue operations and bring relief assistance to people impacted by the tragedy. We await a response from the government of Nepal on this front. Let me say that we stand ready to offer any other assistance that the Nepal authorities might require. So, Sridhar, coming to Sahil, your question I've answered. Sridhar, coming to your question, I've already addressed the issue of NDRF. We have made that offer, and now we await a response from the Nepali side. In terms of the death toll, we still await some clarity on this as far as Indian nationals are concerned. They are missing at this point in time. Keshav, coming to your question about financial assistance, at this point in time, we are extending support to Nepal by way of humanitarian assistance and technical support, medical team. I just told you about the tunnel rescue team, which is being prepared to go to Nepal. Also, we have offered Bailey bridges, and we have also our NDRF teams. That offer also has been made. Huma, on field hospital, I don't have an update, but I told you that we are sending a medical team. But on other aspects of our support, as and when we have more update, I'll share with you. Uh, on your question, US UK figures, these are very granular details. I don't have it with me today, but I will come back to you on this. As also specific question about Saudi Arabia that you asked, I don't have any detail, but let me come back to you. सचिन, जैसा कि मैंने बताया कि एनडीआरएफ की सहायता, एनडीआरएफ टीम की सहायता हम लोगों ने प्रदान करने की ये बात कही है नेपाल सरकार से, और अब उनके पक्ष में है कि क्या क्या उसका जवाब आता है, तो उनकी तरफ से जब जवाब आएगा तो उस पर हम लोग कार्य करेंगे. Oh, sorry. Yeah. Okay. So, Keshav, coming to your question, this is regarding the 8-point consensus, the early harvest part. So, the recent round of SR talks were held. We have come out with a press release. We gave you all that, all the discussions that happened in these talks. A detailed consensus outcome which was negotiated between the two sides has been put out. The two sides underlined during the talks that their commitment to advancing negotiations on a framework. So, advancing negotiations on a framework for the settlement of the boundary question in accordance with the agreement on political parameters and guiding principles for settlement of the India-China boundary questions signed in 2005, and the consensus reached in subsequent SR talks in pursuit of a fair, reasonable, and mutually acceptable solution. It was also decided that the expert group on boundary delimitation under the WMCC would advance discussions on an early and substantial harvest of boundary delimitation. Vijayalakshmi?
हेलो सर, विजयलक्ष्मी हूँ इंडिया टीवी से। सर, ब्रिक्स समिट को लेकर के पूछना चाहती हूँ कि कौन कौन से हेड ऑफ स्टेट्स, हेड ऑफ गवर्नमेंट आएंगे? क्या चीन और रूस के राष्ट्रपति दोनों भारत आएंगे ब्रिक्स समिट के लिए?
Gautam?
Thank you, sir. Gautam Lairi. On the Nepal, whether there is a massive destruction have taken place in the hydropower projects, whether any supply to Indian grid, the power has been affected or not? And second question, also another on Bangladesh, that the human tragedy is going on there continuously. There's some Hindu families are being deliberately targeted there. 2 incidents have happened, and the government of Bangladesh is not taking up any proper actions, or I don't know about what they have done. So whether India has any concern about this continuous, people are very upset there.
Enjoy.
So, after the visit by the NSA, who is also SR, it was decided that apart from the Corps Commander level meeting in Ladakh, there would be 2 others, presumably the central sector and Arunachal, and also 2 hotlines. Now, when is that going to happen?
Vineet?
So my question, Vineet Dikshit from Newsgate. My question is about the extent of destruction in Nepal. I want to draw a parallel between this and the Chinese design to construct a huge dam across Brahmaputra. We know how the destruction has taken place. क्या Chinese authorities को बताया गया कि ये जो विभीषिका हुई है उसका क्या परिणाम हो सकता है, और जो सब जानते हैं कि चाइना क्यों डैम बना रहा है to weaponize itself and play a havoc in that region. Are we going to dissuade? Is there a move to from the Indian side to dissuade Chinese, keeping in mind what has happened in Nepal?
Okay. Siddhant?
Hi, sir. I'm Siddhant from CNN News 18. Sir, Nepal's science minister, in a way, blamed Chinese site construction for the flash floods. What is India's assessment? Thank you.
सो विजयलक्ष्मी, आपका सवाल ब्रिक्स शिखर सम्मेलन को लेके है। जैसा कि हम लोगों ने बताया, अभी हमने ऐलान किया है प्रेस विज्ञप्ति के जरिए कल कि भारत इसकी मेज़बानी कर रहा है। 13 और 13 सितंबर को दिल्ली में ब्रिक्स 18वीं ब्रिक्स शिखर वार्ता होगी, जिसकी अध्यक्षता हम कर रहे हैं। जहाँ तक कौन कौन से राजनेता इसमें भाग लेंगे, इसके बारे में अभी मेरे पास जानकारी नहीं है, लेकिन मैं आपको जैसे ही हमारे पास इस पे अपडेट आता है, मैं आपको ज़रूर अवगत कराऊंगा। इसमें हम लोगों ने ब्रिक्स सदस्य के अलावा पार्टनर कंट्रीज और आउटरीच जो कंट्रीज है उनको भी बुलाया है। तो एक जैसे जैसे हमारे पास अपडेट आएगा, मैं आपको इस पर मैं आपको साझा करता रहूँगा। गौतम, नेपाल, what exactly was the question on Nepal? Power, yeah. So that particular Trishuli river, on that this hydro power was under construction, and that has been impacted. Exactly whether power was coming from that part to India or not, I am not very clear on this, but let me get back to you on that. But we had a lot of Indians who were working on this particular project, and they have been impacted, and several of them have also been rescued. The other question was about law and order situation in Bangladesh. This is a responsibility which the government of Bangladesh must take. Srinjoy, on NSA SR talks as to the agreement, the 8-point plan that has been agreed between the two sides as to when they are going to be activated. I don't have, the SR talks just finished in Beijing. Both sides have agreed on an 8-point agenda, and now it is for both sides to sit together and see how best it can be activated or implemented. I shall keep you updated on this. विनीत, चीन और भारत के बीच में ट्रांस बाउंड्री इश्यूज हैं, ट्रांस बॉर्डर इश्यूज हैं, पानी का भी इशू है, और इन सभी चीज़ों पे, मुद्दों पे हम लोगों की जब द्विपक्षीय बातचीत होती है तो उस पर हम बात करते हैं, एक दूसरे से अपना परिप्रेक्ष्य उनसे साझा करते हैं। Siddhant, regarding views expressed by the Nepal minister, I would say that these are matters which need to be looked into by experts. So we'll wait for more details to come out of it. I don't have any comment on this particular remarks. Neeraj?
सर, नीरज न्यूज 18 इंडिया से आपने कहा कि 96 लोग चीन की तरफ जो फंसे हुए थे वो नेपाल की तरफ क्रॉस कर गए हैं। ये वही लोग थे जो कैलाश मानसरोवर की यात्रा और वैकल्पिक रूट से आ रहे हैं, या नेपाल और चीन के बॉर्डर जहां ये त्रासदी आई थी वहां से ये निकले हैं? क्योंकि कल आपने कहा था कि चीन में 200 लोग फंसे, वो आंकड़ा 400 हो चुका है। तो ये वही लोग हैं या ये सीमावर्ती इलाकों के लोग हैं जहां ये त्रासदी की तस्वीरें आई थी?
Akansha?
Good evening, sir. Akanksha from Times Now. Sir, Kuwait's defense minister was in Islamabad as Pakistan and Kuwait have forged this defense pact. He's called the military cooperation agreement with Pakistan an important milestone for operational coordination and readiness. How does MEA view this pact, given that we also have millions of Indians in Kuwait, and how does the government see Pakistan's push in the Gulf?
Kallu?
Kalol Bhattacharjee from The Hindu, sir. My question is regarding the comments that are coming from Bangladesh on the MEA Defense Pact. Earlier, the Deputy Foreign Minister Humayun Kabir had mentioned it, and therefore yesterday the Foreign Minister himself, an experienced diplomat, Khalilur Rahman, has talked about it, and he has said that if Bangladesh joins it, and it's something that's for Bangladesh to decide, and that it should not cause any discomfort for anybody else. And he also described the pact as a matter between the Islamic family. So I wanted to know, what are your thoughts about this sort of remarks?
Okay. There?
Sir, Dhairy Maheshwari Sputnik. Sir, during PM Jaishankar's recent visit to Moscow, the Russian side, the Russian president offered to increase the supplies of fertilizers to India, and the Russian deputy PM said during the Intergovernmental Commission meeting that Russia is paying special attention to hydrocarbon cooperation. So my question is India looking to sustain or increase the current levels of oil supplies from Russia, as well as what's the status of fertilizer supplies from Russia? Thank you, sir.
ओके सो फर्स्ट नीरज कमिंग टू योर क्वेश्चन, जो 96 लोगों की हमने बात की है, ये लोग हैं जो चीन में थे और नेपाल के रास्ते नीचे आए हैं. आप ये ध्यान के चलिए कि ये जो आप जिस इलाके की बात कर रहे हैं, ये छोटा सा टुकड़ा, जमीन का टुकड़ा नहीं है, बहुत बड़ा क्षेत्र है. तो वहाँ भी जो है भूस्खलन हो रहा है, तो इसलिए इस कारण से लोग जो भी सुविधाजनक रास्ता होता है उससे आदमी निकल के आ जाते हैं. तो ये 96 लोग चीन की तरफ से इधर आ गए हैं. Kansha, regarding your question about visit of Kuwait Defense Minister, we continue to follow all developments that happen in our neighborhood and take appropriate measures for our national security issues. Kalol, on your question, all that I have to say is that we continue to closely follow all developments having a bearing on India's security and take all necessary steps to safeguard it. Here, our External Affairs Minister visited Russia recently. He had he co-chaired the IRIGC India-Russia Tech meeting with his counterpart there, as also he met with the foreign minister, and he also called on President Putin during these meetings. Energy cooperation was an important element of discussion, and we continue to be in touch, both sides, for strengthening our collaboration across a range of fields. Fertilizer is also one of the issues that came up for discussion when our External Affairs Minister visited Russia. With that, ladies and gentlemen, we come to the close of this press briefing. Thank you.